my dad doing money ritual witchcraft on me? Story time. Hi TikTok, it's your girl Rosie. I am back with another story. As y'all know, my platform's a platform where I tell you guys stories about witchcraft, tell you guys about the consequences that come with it, but also highlight the mercy, the grace, and the love of God. I am currently driving, but I'm paying attention to the road, and I'm going to tell you guys the story because it's very important. So, a friend of mine called me after watching this video, and she was asking me what I think about it, being from a Christian point of view. And I figured I'm going to share this with you guys, and also y'all talk to me in the comments, tell me what y'all think. So there's a girl, we're going to call her Ashley. Y'all know I love that name, it's easy for me to remember. Ashley has an older sister. They have a big age gap. Ashley's parents got a divorce when she was younger, and when she was younger they were super duper poor. Anywho, they get a divorce. After getting the divorce, Ashley's sister and her dad tend to beef a lot. Her sister does not like her dad at all, and her dad would care less about the sister as well. Let's call her sister Melody because my daughter picked that name. Anywho, so Melody and her dad don't have a good relationship. Any chance she get when she's off from school, she would spend it with her mom or her aunts. Anywho, at this point, Ashley's about 11 years old and she gets her monthly, her period. And when she gets her monthly, her dad is the one that teaches her how to put on her pads and how to take off her pads. And every time after she would take it off, her dad would make sure that he was the one that would wrap it in a bag and he would take it outside for her. And she thought it was super normal. This was when she was from the age 11 till she was 14. When she was about 14 years old, she goes to a boarding school and she absolutely loves it. And her dad hates it. Her dad did not want her to go to this boarding school, but she insisted. Anywho, she's loving the boarding school. The first semester goes by. The second semester, her dad comes by one day, and sorry y'all, I'm driving so I gotta pay attention. Her dad comes to the boarding school one day with a gentleman. Her dad tells the teachers that she's gonna take her daughter out for the day, his daughter out for the day, and when he does that, he talks to the daughter and tells her, hey, we're gonna go back to the school, you're gonna pack up your stuff and you're coming back home. And the daughter's like, why, Dad? I love this school. I'm doing great. My grades are great, yada, yada, yada. And mind you, at this point, the older sister, Melody, the minute she graduated high school, she dipped. She left her dad. And Melody would never speak to the dad. Like, in the way my friend was explaining it to me was that in the story, Melody spoke to the dad maybe once every couple months. And that was only for the dad to pay the tuition, her tuition. There was no relationship. As opposed to Ashley, who her and her dad spoke every day, sometimes twice a day when she was in the boarding school. Anyway, so the dad tells Ashley, I'm coming to pick you. Oh, I need you to pack up. You're leaving this boarding school. Ashley's trying to convince her dad. I was saying, because Ashley loves her dad and knows that her dad is super lonely, she decides to pack up and move back home. Anyways, she moves back home. She's going to this school. She was a little upset with her dad about this situation. And she didn't leave her room for 2 days. When her dad came to her room and gave her his credit card, told her, go crazy, buy whatever you want, invite some friends, I don't care. She does exactly that. She moves on with her life. Anywho, a couple weeks down the line, sorry y'all if I'm I'm driving. Anyways, a couple weeks down the line, she's on her monthly when her dad comes up to her and asks her, are you on your monthly? And she says yes. Her dad tells her, all right, why don't I help you put on your pad? She tells her dad, come on, I'm a little older for that. I can put my pad on and take it off myself. Her dad's insisting, and she's like, no, Dad, I got it. So her dad tells her, all right, that's fine, but when you take it off, I need you to put all that stuff in a bag and hand it to me so I can go and throw it out. Ashley thought that was super weird. She thought that she's old enough to find a trash and throw her pads away. Anywho, she does exactly that. She puts all her pads in one bag and she hands it to her dad every time she's done using it. Anywho, she thought it was weird, didn't think much of it. A couple months down the line, she's studying for her finals. It's late at night, she's dozing off when it's around 1 o'clock when she feels somebody touch her on her shoulder. She turns around and she sees her dad, and her dad is in his birthday suit. She thinks it's super weird. She's like, Dad, what the heck is going on? What are you doing? And when she looks at her dad starts bawling. She tells her dad, what's wrong, and why are you in your birthday suit? Her dad starts telling her, I messed up. Ashley's like, what are you talking about? The dad says, I didn't follow their instruction and I'm going to pay for it with my Life. I don't know what I can and cannot say on TikTok, but basically I'll be paying for it with my life. Ashley's like, Dad, tell me. The dad's like, I can't say much, but because I didn't follow their instruction, they told me that if I don't do the hanky-panky with either of my kids, that I will be gone. Ashley's like, there's got to be another way. The dad's insisting. This is what they told me. They've given me a couple weeks to get it done, or I won't be here anymore. Ashley, with tears in her eyes, not wanting to do it. Ashley's trying to convince her dad that they can find something else to do. They can find another way. They can go talk to somebody else. Her dad's like, this is the only way that this can happen. The dad's on his knees, crying, begging, telling Ashley, I know you love me and I love you so much. And I cannot imagine how your life will be without me around, and vice versa. That's when Ashley, with tears in her eyes, she starts taking off her clothes, and her dad do the hanky-panky. She was super disgusted with the situation. So, like I stated, they do the hanky-panky, and she even mentions that she thinks that at the end the dad was starting to enjoy it. When the dad finishes, he grabs her panties, wipes himself off, and wipes her off. He gets up and leaves. At that moment, Ashley runs to the bathroom bawling, and she starts taking a shower, scrubbing, basically her skin off, because she's very disgusted with what just happened. She doesn't leave her room for a couple of days. She won't talk to her dad. She won't say a word to her dad at all. When all of a sudden, her dad buys her a brand new car. They never talk about what happened, and a couple of weeks after that, her dad hits the biggest jackpot, meaning he got one of the biggest contracts with a big company in China, and he celebrates it. He throws a huge party, invites the owners of that company or whatever, and a bunch of people from the area, and the dad and the whole family are basically his family and her are enjoying this party, and the dad becomes even richer. Anywho, months down the line, at this point, she's about to graduate high school, and she falls in love with a man. She genuinely loves this man. They spend every chance they get together, to the point where, she's worried about what her dad would think. She would always tell her dad, oh, Dad, I'm studying, or, I am applying for schools, giving her dad every excuse in the world so she's not home. Because she also noticed that her dad became a little more clingy. Her dad became more super strict with, especially when it came to men. The dad didn't want anybody talking to his little girl. And at first she looked at it more like, my dad wants me to find a good man, the cream of the crop. Is that how you say it? But anyway, she falls in love with this man. They're hanging out for a couple months. Life's going great. They're sneaking out to hang out. She's spoiling him and he's spoiling her. She's picking him up. Everything is going great. When one day, she comes home late at night, and her dad is in the living room waiting for her. And the dad starts yelling at her, telling her, are you seeing such and such? And she tells her dad, how do you know about my boyfriend? Her dad starts yelling, you need to break up with him now, right now. And she's telling her dad, no, Dad. I am old enough to make my decision. Like I said, she tells her dad, I'm old enough to make my decision. This gentleman is a good guy. He really cares for me. He doesn't force me to do stuff I don't want to do. The dad's yelling at her, telling her, you need to leave him, or I'm going to take this away from you, take that away from you. But Ashley had already made her mind up. She was not going to leave him for nothing. They were like the Bonnie and Clyde. Anywho, the dad, out of anger, goes in his room, slams the door. It was a couple days when Ashley started to notice that the man that was in love with her and the man that she was in love with, all of a sudden started acting weird. They were the type of couple to be on the phone 24/7. If not on the phone, they were texting. They were around each other every chance they got. But all of a sudden, he's giving her short messages, not responding. He'll be online when she's trying to call him, and she thought it was super weird. She tries to blow him up. He's not answering. When finally she tells him, tell me what's wrong. What did I do? She finally calls him. He picks up. And when he picks up, he tells her this. She tells him, what did I do to you? Like, what happened for you to treat me the way you're treating me? The man tells Ashley that my mom called me. So the guy was a little older than Ashley was. He tells Ashley, my mom called me and my mom told me that a man of God, a prophet, told him that I needed to leave the girl I'm dating. She tells her boyfriend, why? What are you talking about? The boyfriend says, the man of God told my mom that if not, that I wasn't going to be here any longer, and that family, that somebody in that family is doing dark arts, and that is not happy with me. And Ashley tries to convince, the boyfriend that this is all crazy, and the boyfriend was like, no, it's not. The way my mom sounded, the tears that were coming out of her eyes, like it's true. And the boyfriend tries to tell Ashley as well that things haven't been right. He's been having a lot of like demonic encounters. Things just aren't right. And he tells Ashley, I had fun while it lasted, but I'm not going to do it. And he hangs up the phone. And that's where it ends. The question in the video was, is my dad doing dark magic on me? Is he doing money rituals on me? Is he doing witchcraft on me? And so my friend was calling me, asking me, what do you think about that? I'm like, girl, yes. Like, what else is there to talk about? Yes. That man's doing witchcraft on that girl. I mean, what father do you know that is helping their daughter put on and take off their pads from 11 till she's an adult, right? What man? Number two, the fact that he laid with his daughter is clear indication of, if not witchcraft, he's demonically possessed. There's something wrong there. And number three, the clinginess, the you can't be with anybody, the weirdness, and the fact that something bad always happens to somebody before her, and her dad becomes super rich again, is a clear indication that definitely the dad's dabbling in some dark arts, and it's simple. The fact that the dad kept saying, I didn't follow I didn't do what they told me to do, and here's the price I have to pay, and blah blah blah, pure indication that it's witchcraft. And this should only tell you guys that the devil is real. He's real. This should also tell you guys that witchcraft is real. It's real. The mere fact that your own blood can do that to you shows you how evil witchcraft, but not only witchcraft, the enemy is, for real. Because I cannot imagine, and I get it. They were super poor. The dad tried to opening businesses, plenty of times things weren't working, and he decided to dabble in dark arts. And that's how it always starts. It always starts small, and then it gets bigger. The sacrifice becomes bigger and bigger. And I have another story I'm going to tell you guys after this one about that. And why do I think the older sister does not like the dad is because he probably did the same thing to her. 100%. He probably did, or she knows something that a lot of us don't know. And why do I think that? Yeah, that's what I think. Witchcraft is real, y'all. It's real. So yeah, tell me what you guys think, and I am going to end this video, drink my coffee, and then I will come back for another story. Bye, y'all.